Oh, clicks.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying you and I were going to get close if we keep doing this, like we'll be good friends or something. I mean, I'm not going to become a rock climber with you. I'm too old for that. One of these days, this kid's going to kill me climbing rocks. I know this spot doesn't look too bad, but we came from all the way down there. You sure?
So mommy's dad, Brielle's dad, and I'm dad.
Oh, okay. You're the javelina? I think that's what it is.
I want to be the cactus.
But Sunny, the Saguaro, is taking her friends because it's with a you, like me.
When I think of cactus, the giant saguaro are the type of cacti I think of. So while we were in Tucson, Arizona, we had to go to Saguaro National Park to see these giant cacti in person. There are 2 separate districts, but we stuck to the east side because the park ranger said it really was the best view of the park. You can also drive a loop, get out and explore, but it's an easy park even if walking and climbing is harder for you.
Okay, so we're gonna go down this way?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. The car? We haven't had a car for a long time.
We haven't had a car in almost a year.
Yeah.
In like 10 months.
Boy, this would have been way easier getting up this way. I bet Mommy could even do this one. Don't know that she would. Okay, where are you going? Let's go this way. Yeah, let's go this way.
If you're in the area, a quick stop to Saguaro National Park is definitely worth your time. While we were in Tucson, the kids and I decided we wanted to do one more national park. So we are at Tumacacori. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong. We learned how to actually pronounce the name of this place. What is it?
Tumacacori.
Tumacacori, yes. The ranger said it earlier and it sounded nothing like that, but I didn't hear how she said it. So Brielle, do you want to tell us what Tumacacori is?
So it is a Spanish mission that they turned into a national park. I'm excited. I was learning about this in school recently, so this is exciting.
Yeah, so Brielle has learned about this stuff in school lately, the missions and, you know, how they were more than just churches, but whole communities and all of those types of things. And then Steele has also learned American history and about Spanish exploration and how they would bring priests and missionaries with them and establish missions. We read a sign out front about how the missions were here kind of as education centers to teach the local people about European ways of life. Steele is hard at work on his junior ranger book already. He's got an activity book down here. And then they gave us this junior ranger seek and find. So we're gonna do a scavenger hunt and his book. It looks really cool. I read online, it only takes about an hour to do this one. But with these activities, it might take us a little longer. We're gonna go inside the mission and start with the movie to learn more and get our lay of the land. Tumacacori is not an official national park, but it is a national historical park. These historical parks have ended up being Brielle's favorite of all of the national parks we've done because she's not a huge fan of hiking and the outdoors. If you're a fan of history, though, you'll definitely want to check them out. We learned so much about the history of the people who lived in this area back in the early 1800s. While there, we also got to try some authentic tortillas that were made by a descendant of the A'adam tribe who lived here on the mission 200 and 300 years ago. Because of that, we decided to go out to lunch and eat some of the best food I have ever had at this tiny Arizona town just north of Mexico.
We're in Tucson, Arizona at the Presidio Museum. It is a replica maybe of a fort that was here in Tucson back in the 1770s. But we are about to do the Turquoise Trail. We just picked up a map inside the museum and it's a historical walking tour. I've always wanted to do one of these and we've never been in a place where that was one of the top things to do. But there is a painted turquoise line on the street with all the numbers, so it's super easy to follow. You just follow the trail and the map is there. They said there's plaques in all these places to tell you what you're looking at.
Did you know that Tucson, Arizona is one of the oldest continually inhabited areas in the country? I didn't know this before, but as I've mentioned in other videos, I love history, and so we were quick to find out all the history we could about this area. The Turquoise Trail is a 2.5-mile loop that goes throughout the downtown area, but it's actually the remains of the former fort, the Presidio San Agustin del Tucson, that was founded in 1775. So in various points along the trail, you can actually see the remains of where the fort walls stood. There's several key sites, and I love the way the map highlights them for you and makes it very easy to find. You can definitely do this tour on your own and learn a ton, which is what we did. However, the Presidio Museum does offer guided tours as well if that's something you would like more. The entire trail is accessible, and on a beautiful day like the day we went and explored, it's very easy to do in just a few hours.
This is the leather jacket soldier, or soldado de cuera. Spanish soldier assigned to the Presidio, and he's dressed for battle. He had leather armor made of 7 layers of deerskin, a rawhide shield, and a 9-foot lance, which made him a formidable adversary. His shield helped to deflect arrows, while his long lance was the premier weapon of the day. We really like to, when we travel, to learn about the local history in an area. On the way here, Brandon and I were talking about how I knew Tucson was a city in Arizona, but I didn't really know the history. And it's been really fun because the kids have both learned American history in school, but to actually see an old fort and learn about what happened here, to see war memorials from other wars that they've also learned about in school, it really brings it to life in a different way than if you're just reading about it. So that's something that's been really neat to show the kids, but also for Brandon and me. I feel like I've learned so much in traveling that I would not have known just in studying in school. So Steele was asking what the A on the mountain was.
And it stands for Africa.
No, it doesn't. Students at the University, get this, Steely, at the University of Arizona celebrated a football victory in 1915 by constructing an A out of local rock and whitewashing it. The painted A became a new cultural icon, and this custom continues every fall. So they re-whitewash it. Of course, Manhattan, Kansas has a similar sign on a mountain, but here the Arizona mountain is due to a football victory.
Brielle, do you see it? Through that light pole, through that light post.
I was looking this way.
Steele earlier was like, what's the A stand for?
Africa.
And then he goes,
Arizona.
Africa. So this is the Hotel Congress. It was built in 1919. John Dillinger's gang was renting rooms here and it caught on fire. And they had the firefighters carry their bags outside. And inside were submachine guns and bulletproof vests. So they ended up getting caught, but the firefighters didn't look inside their bags.
Traveling full-time has been a different experience than when we used to travel together as a family before. We're no longer trying to cram in as much as we can when we're in an area, but we really seek to learn and discover what it was like living in that area now and before we were here. It really puts things into perspective, and it's something we've really enjoyed doing together as a family. We've also been grateful for the added time that we get to spend together. Our family already spent quite a bit of time together, but it's been so fun as we've traveled around to have all these shared experiences and grow even closer. To those of you joining us virtually as we live life now instead of waiting, thank you so much for being here. We're excited to have you join us again next week for a new adventure.